crafty friends, and happy day 4 of HoliVlog. We're here for the tiny presents once again. I have my Baha mug, but I have coffee today because I'm actually filming this in the morning for once. So we have the go-go juice in the cup, and we're going to open some tiny presents. But first, let's talk about progress on various things. First and foremost, of course, we have our Monty Bojangles. I haven't eaten it yet, but today's is the orange angelical flavor. This actually has like candied orange peel mixed into it, which is really, really good. So I'm very excited for that one. Also, I'm going to show you some tiny present project progress. Wow, let me try to say that 5 times fast. Tiny present project progress. How many P's is that? TTPPP? Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to show you the tiny present projects that I'm working on, and also my my block set garden that I'm building. So let's start with the block set building, the garden. So the piece from yesterday is this monstrosity. I guess that's emulating a flowering cactus of some sort. So yeah, the colors are a bit weird for me, but you know, there we go. Of course, the lighting in the craft room today is, I don't know, it's not doing me any favors. I'm looking real pasty today. It is what it is. So here is yesterday's piece, and I think this is another one. Yeah, we had extra pieces, so I'm guessing that I'm just supposed to hold on to these because I'm guessing that ultimately these are going to make the base that these all go into. I just wish that the instructions would have said such, because it's just slightly confusing to have these random pieces left over when you're done. But not all the like every other day has a couple of pieces so far, it seems. So, sorry, I'm just making noise. But anyway, there's for December 3rd. So that is, we have 3 flowering plants of some sort going into our block garden. So what projects am I working on? Well, I already told you. I'll try to remember to put the link to the knitting pattern in the description here, because I've had a couple people ask already, and it is kind of a generic name, so finding it on Ravelry could be problematic if you don't have the additional details. So I'll remember to put that down there. But I'll show you my my Evertote progress first. So this is the Nordic holiday countdown, and I'm stitching this as we go. So I'm a little behind, as you can see. So this is day 1. And I have almost completed day 1, so I have to finish this like strawberry / apple that's right here, and then there's one that goes in the center. And part of the reason that I have not finished that is because I really need my, this is 36 count, so I can stitch it with my bare eyes. I can stitch it without magnification. However, it's much easier to stitch it with magnification, and I currently just don't have my, my comfy chair set up to be able to use my magnifying lamp. So I'm hoping to get that squared away so that I can stitch on this a little bit more, because my stitching table where all of that stuff is currently like a whole ass mess. So and I don't have the time or inclination to like sort that out right now. So I've been stitching in my stitchy chair. I have my Lowry standing frame, my Lowry standard Lowry, whatever, the one that's the floor stand. Thank you. Oh my gosh, brain. So I have my floor stand over at the comfy chair so I can stitch there, but it is much more helpful to be able to stitch with my magnifying lamp. So I'm going to see if I can clamp it somewhere so I can use it with my Lowry stand. But anyway, so this is the progress I have so far. Hopefully very soon I will have additional progress to show you. The other thing, actually it's right here. The other thing is the knitting project, and I want to show you the yarns that I'm using as well. So I didn't technically buy this as an advent. I believe it was released as an advent probably a few years ago, because I didn't buy Fiber Fox's Advent last year. I did buy the previous year, so I think this is from the year before, or they've just released it as a fade set. But I'm using this Fiber Fox Rainbow Fade. So there are 2 colors missing because I've already wound them up for the project. So I've started on this end where there's the lightest blue. And this package goes to green, and then the green picks up and goes to red, and then the red picks up and goes to this dark purple / indigo color. So that's the fade that I'm using, and the design, the pattern that I'm using is Perennial by Lisa K. Ross, who is Paper Daisy Creations on all the things. I purchased the design off of the pattern off of Ravelry, and it is called Perennial, if I didn't already say that. And it's a super awesome chevron design that's made to really highlight a fade or a gradient pattern or a gradient coloring for your yarn. So I think this is going to be a fantastic set of colors for that. It does only call for 10 colors, and I have 24, so I'm going to be doing a bit of adjusting on the original pattern, which I don't think there's an issue with that, because when I shared the pattern, I was so excited when I saw the pattern, because I'm like, oh my god, it's gorgeous, because the colors she picked for the model are just fabulous. I can't get over the colors. I love this like turquoise teal to like burnt orange vibe that's fairly popular right now. So I saw that and fell in love immediately and was like, I have to use one of my advents for this. And so I posted it to my stories on Instagram, and when Lisa K. Ross, the designer, saw that I had tagged her, and when she reshared my story, she's like, because I was like, why can't you use 24 skeins? It only calls for 10, but you can use 24. And she's like, you could just leave out the extra garter sections, and so it wouldn't be hugely long. And I was like, oh. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay to modify slightly, because the designer said. So here is my meager little cast on. And it doesn't look right yet, because we're still too close to the needles here. So once this gets a little bit longer, you'll be able to see that it's going to go to a point down here at the bottom. So the way you start it is with a what is it called? A garter tab cast on, which I have done before. I had to do this one twice, because the first time I did it, it was really wonky. I had twisted it weird, and it did not work well. But as you can see, it seems to be going all right at this point. And this is a single ply superwash merino, which I did not realize when I was purchasing it. I probably saw 100% superwash and just went with it, not realizing that it would be a single ply. Single ply isn't my favorite because it's kind of fuzzy. And it's real, if you're a tight knitter like I am, it's real easy to split. So it's can be a little bit troublesome. I think once I get out of the increase section, which is like, I don't know, 6 or 7 more rows, I think I'm done with the increase. It should get a bit easier to work with this yarn, but the colors are just so gorgeous. I do have the rainbow advent from Asylum Fibers a couple of years ago, the Over the Rainbow advent, which originally that's what I was originally going to use. But then I looked at these colors, and this rainbow is darker and moodier than the rainbow from Asylum Fibers, and I really felt like for this particular design I wanted darker and moodier, because this might actually turn into a scarf that I would wear on a regular basis, and this kind of muted, moody rainbow I think is much more applicable to places I would wear it out, whereas like the brighter shiny, and it's going to be shiny because it has stellina in it. It's got either luxe or stellina, so it's got the sparkly in it. The Asylum Fibers one does. So I just don't think that that's going to be like an everyday kind of scarf, whereas this could be an everyday kind of scarf. So anyway, that is where we are. So that is my tiny present progress for my 2 projects, which I am very excited about. And now I got to figure out, I don't know how I had this I don't know how I had it folded up, because I have just the Tiny Notions pouch right now, and you can see it because I've balled it up, and I'm actually very proud of my two little yarn balls right now, because usually when I wind by hand like that, my yarn balls are not at all sphere-like. So, and they turned out very spherical this time. I was very excited. But yeah, so I have two of those wound up. What else was I gonna say? I'm gonna pause real quick, and I'm gonna put this stuff away so it's out of my space, so that I can then talk about the tiny presents. We can open things. So give me just 1 second. Okay, now for the tiny present opening. So as we have been, we're going to open the cross stitch one first. So here is day 4 of the Nordic holiday countdown. Nerdic holiday countdown. Ooh, I got a sneak peek. So here's the color. I'll just go ahead and show it to you. This is called plum pudding. Interesting, because this is very brown. I'm used to plum pudding being usually a purple color. When people name that, it's usually a dark purple, but this is a gorgeous dark brown. Warm dark brown, I think. Yeah. So here's today's color. And I'll show you, these are the first 3 colors. So we had 2 different reds that don't look very different on camera right now. And then we had this sort of sagey, ashy kind of color. And now we've got this dark brown. Very interesting. So, and here is today's card, chart, whatever. Ooh, interesting. It's interesting how things are shaping up in the back. Okay. Come see today what the elephant has. See what is there in store. There's biscuits of spice and white sugar mice. There's sweeties and candies galore. So, yeah, there's today's. I'll just make sure there's nothing. I feel like there's something else in the bag. There is something else. Oh, there's a piece of, okay. There's a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. I can't tell what kind of candy this is. It's a buttercream. So, there we go. A piece of candy today. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so that is it for the cross-stitch advent. Let me just, or countdown. Let me just start with the, oh. I almost did it again. Asylum fibers first. This one throws me off every time. So let's see what day 4 has in store for us. More pink. Are we surprised? Are we shocked? I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't, everything is leaning over. And we're getting sneak peeks when we don't want sneak peeks. So here is today's color. So we're actually getting, we're getting into warmer pinks, I think. Yeah, so the first one was like a tinge of purple, like lavender. This is getting into more like pink. Again, not showing up real well on the camera. A little bit closer back here. And one of my neighbors is doing something that involves large trucks or machinery or something. So if you hear humming in the background, I apologize. It annoys the crap out of me, so I'm noticing it quite a lot, but you may not notice it. I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but I'm going to try not to let it make me go bonkers. So that is day 4 of Asylum Fibers. I don't know how the box got so wonky this time. I don't usually have this much issue with the next days peeking through, but for some reason this year's box is just kind of wonky. And now we have Castle View. Again, another dark reddish brown. It looks like we're getting slightly lighter. Ooh. This reminds me, these colors actually remind me a lot of the first Forbidden Fiber, the white elephant box they did in 2020, I think. These colors are very rich and lots of browns, like the first the first box I got from them. So they are actually different colors. When I hold up the whole string for you to see them, you'll be able to see the slight variations. But yeah, so we have another brown red. And again, I'm not looking at the titles yet. I'll look at the titles once I get a chance to actually watch the movie. Which is The Greatest Showman. If you're just tuning in, this Advent is themed after The Greatest Show. This is Fiber Fox. This is The Witching Hour. And these have been very pale so far. So I'm really curious to see where this one is going, because I thought they were going to be really dark and moody, but we're getting like really soft pastels so far. They are getting slightly darker, just ever so slightly, but the color is not super great on camera. But we are building in saturation from one skein to the next. But it is super, super subtle, which is exactly why I did not buy last year's Advent, because the color changes were so subtle, because we went from like a cream to a very light yellow to a very light brown to like, and you're doing like 6 skeins of shift from the cream to the light yellow. And it's like the idea of opening 6 cream color skeins of yarn. I was like, I don't know about that. So I'm ready for the colors to get more intense. I'm ready for them to build a little bit. This is getting a little repetitive for me personally, but you know, together they will be phenomenal. This is All of Time and Space. This is from Folk Yarn Studio. Ouch. I almost got a paper cut in the middle of my fingers. So we're definitely moving into blue. We're having a blue moment. In Time and Space. Oh, there it is, Silly Old Universe. The more I save it, the more it needs saving. The more I save it, the more it needs saving. That's the truth. I'm not sure which Doctor this is from. That almost sounds like one of the like OG Doctors, like the first Doctor, the fourth Doctor. I'm not really sure. Ooh. Wow, that is a shift. Again, it's not electric. It's not as electric in person as it is looking, but we've got this lighter blue, this really vibrant blue mixed in with this darker TARDIS blue, which is phenomenal. I am here for it. It's really gorgeous. This yarn is very soft too. Very soft and squishy. I love a soft, squishy yarn. Though I will say I have not found anybody's base to be quite as soft and squishy as Ruby and Rose's. And I think it's her plush rose, or maybe just her rose base. It is the most plush, soft, gorgeous yarn base I have ever seen. But yeah, this comes pretty close. It's nice and soft and squishy. So that is All of Time and Space. And now we have Hot Knit Yarns with the 80s vibes versus 90s party. These I'm not being able to recognize. Ooh, I'm not being able to recognize what they're themed after, which is making me sad. So like it makes sense after I look at the title, but like I have not been good at guessing what these are going to be. This one looks really cool. We haven't they've been mostly like white skeins with a little bit of color. So this is the first one I think that is really like mostly all over color. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. I'm trying to think. This reminds me of like spandex bike shorts, because they used to do them in like watercolor colors in the 80s and 90s. So let's see what today is. This is number 4. Shoulder pads. See, it doesn't read shoulder pads to me. That reads like those 80s aerobics outfits or the 90s aerobics outfits. That's what that reads to me. It's gorgeous regardless. It's another really nice soft squishy base. Okay. Now, this one's very exciting. This is the Glorious Gastropods. This is from The Knitting Nurse. This is all about snails and slugs. And I was so excited yesterday because I was actually able to guess the inspiration for the yarn. I doubt I know the inspiration for this one. Banana slugs are really like the only gastropods that I know just right off the top of my head. So let's see. This is a milk snail, Otala lactea. So this is the snail that has inspired the yarn. So I'm expecting we'll see some like pale blue in there, right? We can see the brown and the cream. So let's see. Let's see. Jazz has been so good, like pulling out the inspiration. Okay, so we've got the shell, but not necessarily the slug itself. But it's so pretty. That is such pretty yarn. Like I could see making a whole sweater in this color. This is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous like cardigan color. I would totally do a whole cardigan in that color. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I do kind of wish we had just that little, well, that might be my perception, is it looks more, the snail itself looks more blue on camera. It's actually kind of grayish. So there's not actually any blue to work into this, so never mind. It's me misreading the picture because I'm looking at it on camera instead of in person. But yeah, that's gorgeous. This is definitely like the pattern of the snail shell. That's so cool. Okay, so milk snail is today. I'm just going to set that there. And our last package for today, yeah, number 4, is Pink Queen Yarns. This is the Rainbow Kingdom. We've had a lot of neon green. So let's see what we're getting today. More neon green, but this actually looks like, it's like pea soup or baby poop. It's like pea soup green, but we're leaning into the yellow, so I see the progression. I see where we're going with this. So there is the Pink Queen Yarns. Yeah, that is not a pretty color on camera. It's nicer in person. It's a little bit more green in person, but on camera that's a pretty sickly yellow. Okay, folks, that is all I have for you today. I promise that I don't think that the yarn is ugly. The color is not picking up well on camera. It really isn't. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you're having the best everything that's available to you. Treat yourselves kindly. Treat others with kindness as well. And do the best that you can in this wild and wacky world. And I will see you again soon. Bye.